Hey guys, what's happening? David Foster here. Can I just say, can everybody just calm down? Like, this is insane. People are just taking sides left and right. I just saw a post from Ben Shapiro, and he's like showing a dead baby from Jerusalem just to kind of like push this narrative of the dead babies. And this has not been confirmed. A lot of information has not been confirmed. This is what you call the fog of war. People need to relax a little bit. We can be upset. That's totally fine. We can completely be upset about what's going on. It's not a good thing on either side, but there are innocent people on both sides of this. So taking a side and just saying that the other side deserves death and destruction is not the way to be. When information is coming out like this, you have to just, calm down and wait until it's verified and we have more data. On X, I've been telling people, look, there's not enough data, and people are like ripping my head off. Oh, you're for killing babies and doing this and murdering this. I'm like, no, God, they think that if you just question something, you're on the side of the terrorists, which is not true. I don't think any of us are. Even the people that are supporting Palestine, they're not on the side of the terrorists. They're on the side of the stuff that's been going on for tons of years. Israel shoots into Palestine and just indiscriminately shoots at people. They've done bad things as well. So has Palestine. They have both done things that human beings should not be doing to each other. So neither one of them are innocent. So to sit here and just jump on board with Israel or jump on board with Palestine, you're forgetting that there are innocent people, men, women, and children on both sides that want nothing to do with any of this. They just want to live their lives in peace. And this just freaking tribal mentality that we have in this country just really pisses me off sometimes, because you can't have a conversation with people. I'm working on a video that I'm talking about that. Like, how can we have conversations when we're so divided? How can the left conversate with the right and vice versa without always getting in a huge fight and argument and just getting into name calling and all that other stuff? How can we do that? Because if you notice, like right now, you can't have a conversation with anybody. If you're not on one side or the other, then you're a piece of shit. You're a racist. You're a Zionist. You're all these things if you're not on one side of this issue. But the bottom line is, we all have to be on the same side of this issue, and that's for the innocent people that are involved in this. What has happened was a very small number of people, meaning the terrorists, was a small number. It wasn't all of Palestine, but everybody's treating them as if it did. Well, they celebrated it. Well, you know what? I've seen videos of Israelis sitting on tailgate parties on the mountains celebrating when Palestine has been bombed in the past. Not recently, but in the past. So they both do this stuff. This has been going on for a long time. It's none of our business. We shouldn't be there. But now we're sending warships over there. We're getting involved. And the reason we're getting involved, in my opinion, is because we want a war with Iran. I said this in a video yesterday. I think that's what this is all leading up to. Now we're getting threats that terrorist attacks are going to happen in America tomorrow, Friday the 13th. And if you look at how open our border has been, it makes sense that this is a psyop, that this is a false flag that is coming. And if it doesn't come tomorrow, I guarantee that things are going to be happening, or at least there's going to be threats of it, and they're going to be able to use it in order to use fear tactics to take your liberty. When you have a country like Israel that's one of the most militarily sophisticated countries in the world, like the US, there's a lady who was saying that they're always watching from Israel. They're always watching people cross the border. Listen to this.
I'm going to share some key details and concerns, mostly based on Israeli citizens' voices from the ground and based on official statements. This is a very tough day for me and for us in Israel, and it is tough for people of Palestine too, especially now that Israel is starting to attack back. This war, and every war, is a horrible thing for everyone involved, except for those who get rich from it, right? Hundreds of Hamas terrorists, at least 300, breached the border fence in multiple places, completely unimpeded, leading to terror attacks and kidnappings in Israeli towns or villages. The terrorists infiltrated a significant number of dry land outposts, as well as a naval infiltration point in Zikim. Apparently, Israeli defense forces that were supposed to be around Gaza were placed around the West Bank because of security concerns, so that the Gaza envelope was left unoccupied with military. They say around 60 to 80% of that area was left without the IDF forces that were supposed to be there. Mainstream media, this is an interesting point, apparently admits that IDF spokesperson is forbidding them to tell the complete truth about what's happening, highlighting a lack of transparency. And this is to the Israeli citizens. I'm not even talking about overseas. I'm talking about to the people of Israel here. For hours and hours, the reports that came from the mainstream media were completely lacking, and people started to rely mostly on the news from each other, from people on the ground. 12 hours after the event started, we received the first formal statement from the IDF spokesperson, and I will include an article with that statement in the notes. A year ago, there was a military operation in Gaza to prepare for such events, and ongoingly there are trainings for these kind of scenarios. This raises serious questions for me anyway about Israeli intelligence. What happened? 2 years ago, there was a successful deployment of underground barriers with sensors to alert exactly on these kind of terrorist breaches. Israel has one of the most advanced and high-tech armies. How come there was zero response to the border and fence breaching? I cannot understand that. Personally, I served in the IDF 25 years ago in the intelligence forces. There's no way, in my view, that Israel did not know of what's coming. A cat moving alongside the fence is triggering all forces. So this? What happened to the strongest army in the world? How come border crossings were wide open? Something is very wrong here. Something is very strange. This chain of events is very unusual and not typical for the Israeli defense system. With the recent normalization efforts of Israel and Palestine led by Saudi Arabia, I wonder whether a prisoners exchange deal is something that could only be seriously considered by Israel if a shocking event like that happened. Is it a possibility that only with Israel hostages it can be justified to release dangerous prisoners from Israeli prisons? I don't know. Mainstream media reported that Deputy Hamas leader Salah al-Aruri suggests using Israeli prisoners for leverage in negotiations. So maybe. A point about the situation in Israel in the past few years, which I want to make, is related to, and those who follow me know that there's a general sense of insecurity in Israel. There's political and social instability and unrest. Public funds are being misused on agendas such as COVID, climate, judicial reform, abolishing cash, and many more. The current government is highly corrupt in my view, while the previous one was no better. I don't care about having a popular opinion. I care about exposing evil forces wherever and whomever they are. So to me, this surprise attack seems like a planned operation on all fronts. This is a failure to protect the people of Israel, for sure. Perhaps the biggest failure since the Yom Kippur War exactly 50 years ago, if not bigger. By the way, is it a coincidence it's exactly 50 years ago, almost on the day? The Yom Kippur War was on October 6, 1973. If I was a conspiracy theorist, I would say that this feels like the work of the deep state. It feels like the people of Israel and the people of Palestine have been sold once again to the higher powers that be.
So with that advanced military and that going on, we're to believe that some guys on paragliders came in. Now, I am not downplaying that people were murdered. I am not downplaying whether or not they killed 250 concert goers and all this other stuff. But we have to remember, this is the fog of war. All the numbers that are coming out can be skewed in so many ways to push for war. It could be propaganda. This is going to be another big war of propaganda. So we have to be careful what we get pissed off about and what we get all excited about during these times, because some of it is not true. You have to know that these numbers are always just guessing initially until people can actually get in and confirm. But who's in there right immediately after 250 people are killed, supposedly? Who's going in there right away and confirming that? That like, okay, we're done shooting, you guys can come in and count your dead now. It doesn't work that way. We just have to calm down, woosah, everybody rub your ears, calm down, and try to have civil discussions. Try to understand that not all the information that you're getting is real. There are people that have been posting videos of atrocities that are happening in Gaza right now, and they're videos from May. They're not even happening right now. So a lot of you are sharing videos that are old. that aren't even happening right now. So you have to chill out. You have to relax. Try not to get like too pissed off, and don't pick a side. Pick a side of innocent people. Pick a side of people that want no part of this. Like me, I don't want any part of this. We don't need to be over there. We need to do whatever we need to do, or whoever needs to do whatever they need to do to find peace. And that's up to them. This has been going on for far too long. It's none of our business. We've got too many problems here in our country we need to deal with. We don't need to be over there dealing with other people's problems. We think we're the policemen of the world. We can come in and just fix everything because that's spreading democracy. We don't have democracy in this country. I'm tired of seeing everybody just with this tribalism, just picking a side, and then the rest of you are fucking wrong and should die. Because that's what a lot of people's sentiment is. Just go die, you piece of shit. We are all humans. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Stop buying into all the propaganda. Relax, calm down. Calm down. Woosah, woosah, bring it down a level. Let's be civil, and let's stand up and show our government we do not want another war. We do not want to send our money over to Israel. We don't want to send our money anywhere, Ukraine, anywhere. Spend it at home. Let's fix our country. Let's close our border. Let's fix things here before we think we're gonna even stand a chance of fixing an argument that's been going on for thousands of years. It's not our problem. Peace.